All right. So this is a list of things I didn't buy this year. I haven't bought them in years, and I don't plan on buying in 2025. I think it's about 10 things. And I'm also gonna give you alternatives and what we use instead. The first thing I haven't bought in years and don't plan to buy is paper towels. I don't think I've bought paper towels in over 5 or 6 years. I think maybe we have one roll somewhere that we can use, but it's not something that I buy regularly. Instead of paper towels, we actually use tea towels or hand towels, like bathroom hand towels. They're like the perfect size. I know a lot of people already have a lot of tea towels in their kitchen, and they are just a lot more absorbent and better at cleaning than a paper towel. So if you like spill something, a paper towel takes like 10-20 sheets to like soak up, and it just takes one tea towel, or even a big towel is better at cleaning up a mess. We've been using those as an alternative for years. It's always funny when people come over and they ask,
we have paper towels, and we're like, no, we don't, we use these instead.
It hasn't been an issue or anything, but it's just funny people's reaction. It's just a better experience too, especially because we use them as our napkins. So if you're eating, you only need one, and you can, wipe your hands or your mouth or, whatever. We only end up, with one extra load of laundry a week with those, but it also has our bath towels and other tablecloths and stuff in it. So it's not really that much extra work in order to use those. And it's cheaper. Like I said, I haven't bought paper towels in several years. Saving money is also a very good benefit. I'm a little under the weather, so if I sound a little stuffy and whatnot, I've been sick. I'm currently pregnant, so I'm struggling, but we're gonna get through this. The second thing I haven't bought in years, and actually don't really own any, is books. So I used to love buying books. I would love to go to Barnes & Noble or Books A Million or even Amazon, and I loved collecting books, and I do love reading, but I found that the majority of the books that I bought, I only read once, and then they just sat on a shelf forever. A few years ago, I actually donated all of my books to the library, and that is where I actually get all of my books from now. So the library is free. They have all the books that you want. Ours actually has a partnership with an app. I can't think of the name, but I'll insert it. They have like audiobooks, digital books that you can download onto your Kindle. So I've never not been able to read the book that I want. You might have to wait, but it beats having to spend $20, $25 per book, because books have gotten really expensive. It's just a way that we save money and also declutter our house. So that's kind of another motivation for a lot of these, is kind of more minimalism. Sustainability is one of the big reasons that I've switched to a lot of these, but also having less clutter in our home really is a benefit.
And I know a lot of people love collecting books, so if that's something that you love, I mean, obviously keep doing that, but this is just something that we personally do.
I think I own like 2 reference books for knitting, and that's it. Another thing that's free that you can do right now is subscribe to my channel. I make all sorts of content about being a mom, lifestyle vlogs, my family, and anything that you are interested in. So if you want to join and be up to date on all the content that comes out, hit that subscribe button and like this video. The next thing that we don't buy is kind of funny. It's more out of preference, but it obviously lends itself to like sustainability and saving money, and that is little K-cups or the disposable coffee and tea pods. So we got a Keurig a couple years ago, which I love, but I found that I didn't want the waste that came with all of the disposable ones. I didn't want to pay for all the disposable ones, and I felt like the assortment wasn't even there. Like there's not as many options when you start looking at that sort of coffee. And a tradition that we have is I buy my husband coffee every Christmas. There's this coffee company called Bones Coffee, and they have like different assortments like cannoli or French toast or like these fun flavors, and they don't actually have the little pods. So I bought reusable pods, and you can put whatever you want in them. So you're not limited to the ones that already exist. Very minimal cleanup, and then they just go right into the dishwasher. That's been a really easy adjustment for us. The next one, either you like love them, or I feel like a lot of people are on the fence about this, but I think once you try it, you'll be all in on it, especially when you're saving money, and that is a menstrual cup. I bought one about 5 years ago, and I have not looked back. Not only are you saving money because a menstrual cup costs about the same as a box of tampons, but you only have to buy it once. They do recommend that you replace them every like 5 to 6 years, but I only bought one versus 5 years, 12 boxes of tampons a year. Like that adds up very, very quickly. I really like using it. I feel like it does a better job. It holds more, and it's a very similar experience to using a tampon. And they're very easy to clean and sterilize. I know a lot of people are kind of like weirded out by them, but it'll save you money. I think it's a better product, and it creates less waste because you're not throwing anything away. All right, this next one is funny. I'm not sure if it's because I'm an old lady or I just do what my mom does, who is actually an older lady. Sorry, Mom. But I have never used makeup wipes. I don't like them. I don't think they do a good job. I've used them for like travel and stuff. I think they're expensive and it takes so many of them to get your makeup off. So what I use instead is called cold cream. So I'll insert a picture. It is a cream, you put it on your face, and then you use a washcloth and water to wipe it off. And it does a great job. I think it does a better job of removing your makeup, and then using a washcloth with that just really gets everything off of your face. And a jar of that, I think I bought one 1.5 years ago that I'm still using. Like it lasts a really long time because it takes such a little amount to remove your makeup. It will save you money and create less waste because you're not throwing anything away. You just have a couple extra washcloths you gotta throw in laundry, which isn't a big deal, at least for me. If you have any other things that you think I should add to this list or look into, let me know. Obviously, a lot of these are about saving money, but I'm really into sustainability and minimalism and cutting back on my consumption and being a responsible consumer. The next thing that I don't buy and that you shouldn't either, I feel like this is like a easy one and also an important one, which is plastic containers. First of all, you shouldn't be using plastic. You should be using glass. That being said, we do still use plastic containers, but you don't need to buy them. There's so many things that come in plastic containers that you can just start holding on to them, and then you will have an entire set. Things like sandwich meat, cottage cheese, sour cream, big tubs of yogurt. There's so many things that come in plastic containers. You don't actually need to buy any. They're not aesthetically pleasing, but they get the job done and you don't have to spend any money, and you can throw them away when the lid breaks and not be like, oh man, I paid $10 for that. Like it was free. It came with the food that you consumed inside of it. Realistically, if you want to invest in anything, invest in glass containers. They're way better for your food. We could get into like microplastics and all of that. Definitely prioritize glass if you're gonna buy, but I completely understand using plastic. Just save your money. Don't buy any more plastic containers. Another one that we haven't bought in years, and I feel like it's kind of on the fence now, is cable. So we haven't had cable in probably 10 years. We've only had streaming services. I know streaming services are starting to get more expensive, so it's kind of like,
is it worth it? Is it better to have cable?
For us, we still are using streaming services, and we just switch between the ones that we want to use. So we had HBO for a while. We usually have like Netflix, Hulu. I think we have Disney Plus. We had HBO for a while, but we ended up canceling that to get Paramount. So we had watched everything on HBO, and then we were like, oh, let's like cancel that for a while and get Paramount. We haven't watched anything on there. So you can kind of switch up which ones you're using if you don't want to pay for all of them at once. And there's also YouTube. Obviously, there's tons of entertainment on there. TikTok. There's just not as much on cable that we want to watch. We want to watch things on demand, not when they're on. If you're paying for cable, evaluate if you're really getting your money's worth out of it, because it's pretty expensive. The next thing I'm not buying, I'm kind of going to lump these together, is toys. So we do have 2 cats and I have a toddler. I will not be buying any new cat toys in the foreseeable future. They don't play with anything that I buy them. They prefer all of the things that they shouldn't be playing with. They've recently been stealing ornaments off of my tree. That is their idea of a toy. And then my son, he is 16 months old and obviously has more toys than we know what to do with. And we have a stash of toys that are age appropriate up to 2 or 3 years old. So we really don't need to buy any new ones. And he's so young, he's not really asking for any toys. He's obviously very content playing with the ones that he has. For now, we will not be buying any new toys for our house. What we ended up doing for Christmas is coming up. We actually got him a bunch of clothes. We got him one of those little counter stools that he can get up on and help us so he can start to participate in making food. And we just try to include him in a lot of the things that we do around the house. So we're not always trying to like preoccupy him. We want him to feel included and kind of do whatever it is that we're doing, which he like is obsessed with. And then the last thing I will not be buying is a calendar. And there are obviously a lot of cute calendars. I keep seeing that realistic bird one on TikTok and it's so funny and I do love it. And if you love a physical calendar, like that's fine. But I just don't use them. My dad used to make one every year with everybody's pictures and, you know, stuff from the previous year, which is really cute and sentimental, but I never wrote anything in it. I prefer a digital calendar. I have one linked to my Gmail. It's on my phone. I can access it anywhere. It's just a lot more practical for me. And plus, when you have it in digital form like that, it sends you a reminder. So you get little notifications when it's time for something and you're not going to forget, which is a benefit because I can't remember anything. They also obviously takes up no space. It's on the computer and it doesn't cost anything, which is a big bonus. So let me know what you're not buying in 2025 and I will see you next time. The end. All right, let's test this. All right. All right, hopefully we can get through this. The end.